everyone, welcome back to Of Bricks and Dragons. It's Figure Friday, and today we have G.I. Joe Duke. Now, I found Duke the other day. I picked him up because, to me, it's Duke, Flint, all the nice iconic characters that we would normally have. I didn't really I kind of forgot because I had picked up the Ram Cycle a while ago. What I didn't remember was we actually have Duke on the Ram Cycle. So we're actually going to have two Dukes. And we will kind of go from here. Now, if you have anyone that's got the Ram Cycle is kind of nice because it's a regular, as I'm kind of used to hearing it, as a little crotch rocket, but it's a nice hybrid motorcycle, and it does actually have the side cannon. The cool features on the side cannon and that really are, we can take this off of here. Let's see, this comes off, and if you do take it off, then you have a regular motorcycle. They did do the original one of these, I believe, was with, was it Breaker? I want to say it was Breaker, but I'm going to probably be wrong, so anyone can correct me in the comments. I want to say it was Breaker, but anyways, this is done as the Tiger Force. I really like how the Tiger Force has been done. Looks like we may get what would be the Tiger Rat, which is a recolor of the ferret, the Cobra Ferret, the ATV with the cannon on it or whatever. So this is a nice motorcycle. It works pretty good, but it also gives us this part. So and if you want, this can be opened up. This whole box can be opened up and taken apart here. And what we get is we get a nice machine gun. So we have a nice Gatling gun here that your characters can then hold, because we have a nice handle. You can sit here and we can have fun. Really slick. I really like the idea. Concept is really nice. And then of course then we can put it inside here. Close that up. And now we have a little support. Okay, so seeing that we have what I would say our normal Duke, our normal colored Duke here in the packaging, we'll look at the Tiger Force. Now, noticing between the two of them, we do have some differences here. We do have a similar backpack. So as we take the other backpack out, you'll notice the backpack is pretty close. He does still have the bandolier here, although this has been changed a little bit more. Looks like we have the more futuristic communication right here on his bandolier. He does still have his wings, his jump wings. He's got his belt here, and we do have a pistol on the side. So as I'm dropping things and everything else, so kind of taking a peek here, looking at the packaging. So we do have a different pistol on the Tiger Force Duke compared to what we have in the package there. I'm going to guess this is more of a 9mm here. We do have another, I don't know if this is going to be a range finding goggles or night vision goggles. I really don't know how you want to call that, but we do have that. That will come off. But all in all, it is a nice looking figure, and I really do like the Tiger Force look of things. I like how this is all kind of worked. They gave him more of a submachine gun for the Tiger Force than what he had originally had. And then we're going to break this open and we're going to take a look and see what else we have on the regular normal Duke. So I don't know if you want to look at the two heads here. We'll have to do this when we get them out. In some regards, I'm thinking that he almost looks like he's a little bit younger. Now the only problem is once I get him on a motorcycle, I really didn't have anywhere to go with with the submachine gun here, so that's why I kind of stuck it on the front of his bandolier so I had somewhere to go. And it kind of worked out, so it stayed there, so that's the big thing for me. And as you can see, I do have 2 of these because I really liked the motorcycle. It was an opportunity to kind of get a vehicle, so I was even more ecstatic when I was able to get the Trouble Bubble for Cobra, so I actually had a vehicle for them as well. Okay, so now we got to try and open this up. I do not have a knife on me at the moment. I will have to quick get a knife, which I think I have right behind me. That thing for the little old Swiss Army pocket knives that work ever so well. Unfortunately, I don't really keep them on my keychain anymore because I do run into areas where I just can't have them on me, so I grew up having one of these on my keychain all the time. It's just kind of a shame the way the world has gone that you can't do that anymore. Alright. So as I get things out, okay, so we do have the submachine gun here, which is kind of neat. And trying to get this out here. There we go. Okay. So we do have some binoculars here, or range finding, but these are ones that would go over his, or go around his neck here. So we do have some binoculars of some sort, and we do have that same submachine gun. And to me, it looks like it'd be a 9mm with a silencer on there, or a flash suppressor of some sort. I'm going to guess a silencer. You know, the plastic is a little bendy, especially out here where it's a little thinner. It's a little on the rubbery side, which I know I've heard plenty of people complaining about. I think it kind of has to in some regards, as much as we don't like it, because it kind of helps trying to fit it into places, but I do understand it's a pain at times trying to get the knife out. And the knife, again, it's real kind of, it's more of a rubber plastic than a hard plastic. So all right, so we got Duke Proper out here. Okay, so we do have a scabbard here for his knife. This is more of a combat knife, which I would associate more with the Marine Corps than a bayonet. So I don't know if you'd call that a K-bar knife. And I realize that my terminology and my understanding of a lot of this stuff is getting older and older as I get older. He has a nice, good range of motion here, which honestly, I'm not certain if he had that. No, I guess he does. It's just that he's got, they retooled this, so this is a little different here. I don't have, he's got a better range of motion in the classic figure than what he does for this, for the Tiger Force. So, in comparison here. But he has that very nice classic design that we saw in the original comics. For me, I didn't really read the comics as much, but I really watched the cartoon, and he looks a lot more as to what you have seen him in the original cartoon. And this is something that's kind of nice. We don't have this on the Tiger Force, that hole there, so when we put the backpack on, it holds everything in place a little bit better. We don't have that on a Tiger Force one. Joints kind of feel like they're ratchet a little bit more, so maybe that's a newer, upgraded design to it. You know, I don't know if being at the mercy of whenever you find these things, and I don't go into Target all that often. I know I talk about it or when I do, because that's the only place I can find the G.I. Joe for the most part. I do have a Walmart that's a little ways away that I can find some figures, but for the most part they're older figures. Otherwise, I'm either going to have to get it off of Amazon or somewhere else, and then Amazon's usually my go-to choice there. But everything seems to move pretty good. He's got a little bit of range of motion in the neck. The neck for bending up and down it's got only a small range of motion, and it seems a little stiff. Moving the head around works pretty good. That was the same thing I found with the Tiger Force. Trying to get him to look up a little bit more when he's on the motorcycle just does not work out very well. Okay. And then we have a helmet. There's his pistol. Here's his more classic looking rifle. There's his backpack. And he's got 2 extra hands in here. Maybe 1. And 2. Okay, we'll get this cast off to the side so I don't make more crinkles. So these are just nice fists. So if he wants to slug somebody in the jaw, he can do that. Moving it without them being inserted there is a little on the tougher side. And I don't know how easy it is to change them out, so I'll just leave that be. So let's look what he's got. Okay, so we have a nice pistol. This looks closer to almost like it'd be a futuristic, if you want to call it a 9mm or whatever, but I mean, the size-wise, it looks like it'd be closer to like a 1911, but it's a little bit more futuristic. Maybe it's a futuristic version of a 1911, but either way, that is a different pistol than what he has over there. That's more of a more modern take. So, maybe he's got the new Sig Sauer. And in the backpack, like I said, I mean, we have the hole here, so this works out pretty good. Or should. To get the backpack in there. Alright. Now he doesn't have the regular belt that we have with the Tiger Force, and I don't know if it's just something that was done at the time or whatever else, but I do find it interesting he's got his canteens up here. So I don't know if that's something that, and of course he's airborne, so the boots he's got are more of a airborne style boots. I'm looking at it, that's the way I'm kind of taking it, because that doesn't look like the type of combat boots I ever wore. So that might be a different shroud or something that they had done, or because Duke is an older soldier, and if you remember, this was all done back in the 1980s, so perhaps that's how originally, when like more of a World War II take, it was done. I'll have to kind of watch some of the old shows again. Actually, things I really enjoy is watching like Band of Brothers or the Pacific and that, and seeing how they are, because they did a very good job. We got the bug in. Oops, he's got a. There we are. Let's see here. I don't know if he's going to have the same issue that Squirrel Girl had. Okay. For all having the backpack on, he wants to flip over backwards, and I needed to have more of the base behind him than in front of him, which seems a little off to me, but all right. Honestly, not. When I was in the infantry and all that, I mean, I think our boots only went up to about here. This seems like it's a little higher, so I don't know. I don't remember them going up that high, of course. That was so many years ago. And he's got his night vision here. He's got a submachine gun. We do have a nice helmet, and it does have a visor on here. So you can put the helmet on him. I don't remember having a helmet with a visor on it either. So, and then this is, I mean, this is what we would have him using when he was in the original cartoon. This seems like it is a futuristic view. I mean, this is more of your laser rifle. But it amazes me because in the cartoon we had the laser rifles and they were still using box magazines and all that, just like anyone else. Of course, you never saw anybody reload. It was like the old John Wayne movies. You know, you see him having a shootout or whatever, and he'd have a 6-shooter, and he'd have about 500 rounds shot out of that 6-shooter. But that's fine. And to me, it looks like he's got a little bit of a silencer on the end, or maybe that's just a focal point or whatever for the laser rifle. Really looking at this, I mean, obviously to me, this looks like it was intended to really to be a little bit more futuristic. I don't remember ever having Duke as a figure when I was a kid. I knew my parents weren't going to buy most of that stuff. We just didn't have the money. That's why I guess I got into it as an adult here. Especially when we get stuff that reminds me of my childhood. I just want to kind of go back and look at it and that. But looking this over and that, I just don't know how you'd, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's all imaginative play. It really doesn't matter. I just look at it because, you know, how we have here, you've got a magazine. Oh, and it does come out. So now you can pretend play here a little bit more, and you get the idea. But it, you know, it's like I said, it's all imaginative play. It's all for fun. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many times you shot. None of your guys ever really died. No one really gets hurt. Nothing. It's all in fun. So, but yeah, we have some nice. So I was kind of interested to see that we actually had this because I did not see that in the package originally. So we do have the same submachine gun. We have his regular cartoon. I'm going to guess that they did that in the comic strip as well. His standard battle rifle, his binoculars of some sort, and then we go from there. So yeah, that's our Duke. Here he's got shin guards on here because he's on the ram cycle. You see a little bit more. He's got knee pads here. But between the two of them, I was happy to really get the motorcycle in that when I was getting it, and I was happy to get a Duke. But really looking at them, and I want to say when they did the first version, somebody had made a comment that he had brown hair in one of the versions, and now and they gave him the yellow hair in the Tiger Force. Of course, now he's blonde here. So either way, looks good. This is the nice classic look. Being in charge of maybe the Tiger Force, changing it up, and that looks pretty good. Although there are some features that he has here that I really like. I like how the bandolier has the hole in there, so it fits with the backpack a little bit better. He's got a second set of hands, but there again, we're buying Duke as Duke and not really Duke as a side character for the Ram cycle. So either way, still pretty cool. So, all right. Well, thank you for visiting. Thanks for sitting here around the pool table, and hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.